Hello everyone, welcome back. Please comment, rate, subscribe, folks. Comment, rate, subscribe, like the videos. Also share the videos. I want to thank everyone that does like watching and share my videos. You folks are the absolute best. Listen folks, there's a link tree down below. Has the links to all of my social media platforms. Please go down there, follow me across all my social media platforms and talk to me because I talk back. Also down there as well as links to all of my YouTube pages. Please go down there, subscribe to all my YouTube pages and turn on your notifications so when I post content, you folks will be in the know, all right? Now with that said and done and put to the side, I've come to talk to you folks today about the New York Jets tight end position. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Now you look at this tight end position, it can definitely be upgraded, okay? And there's some options that are coming out, not only in the draft, but also in free agency as well that can really help us out. Let me tell you something. This Jets tight end position has been a big question mark, honestly, since Dustin Keller, and that was years ago. You talk about Dustin Keller being a tight end here, that was years ago. We haven't really had anybody step into the position and make plays for us and be that big time threat since Dustin Keller. So we've got to get this addressed for Zach Wilson and give him, a big body guy he can throw the football to. You look around the league, other guys have that. Patrick Mahomes has Travis Kelce. You look at there in Atlanta, they got Pitts. There's so many guys out there doing their thing. You look at New England, they got Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry for Mac Jones. There's so many guys out there, that have quality, so many teams out there with quality tight ends. Why don't the New York Jets have one? So we're going to go ahead and get into it. I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the current guys, and then we're going to discuss some of the guys in free agency and a little bit of guys in the draft that could also make some plays here. So you look at guys like Tyler Kroft, Daniel Brown. Those are two guys that are going into free agency for the New York Jets at tight end. Now, listen, Dan Brown is a guy, a blocking tight end. I could see the Jets possibly bringing him back, just to keep his current role as a blocking tight end because, what's wrong with that? So I could see us bringing him back, for a minute bit, have him, coming back and filling his role. Now, Tyler Kroft is a guy as well that I could see the New York Jets making an offer to. Now, if he goes on to free agency and he finds another team, I'm not going to cry about it at all. But he's a guy, that did make plays for us from time to time this year. But again, there's so many options. I wouldn't necessarily, cry about losing Tyler Kroft. But he is a guy that can make plays, all right? Now, you look at other guys as well. Ryan Griffin, Wesco, Yeboah. Now, Ryan Griffin's a guy that we saw in the past, especially in Adam Gase's offense. He, made quite a bit of plays for us as well. The thing is, he's been dealing with injuries, particularly this season. And also, he could be a cap casualty because if we end up releasing Ryan Griffin, we could save, I think, $3 million this season. That could be pretty big for us, especially going into free agency. So I could see the New York Jets moving on from him. You look at Wesco, he's a guy, special teams guy. He also blocks as well. He'll probably be around, for a little bit too. And then Kenny Yeboah. Now, Kenny Yeboah is interesting. Here's a guy, that we were able to bring in, practice squad guy. He's got athletic ability. When he's on the field, we see it from time to time where he could be the guy, but we still got to see more out of him. I got to see Kenny Yeboah get the ball in his hand more. I got to see him really be out there making plays before. But again, he's a young guy. He's going to be here for a little bit. But maybe he's a guy that steps in and fills in that tight end role. We'll see. But when you look into free agency and some of the things that the New York Jets can do to attack this position group, there are some guys that are going to be out there that can absolutely help Zach Wilson and help this offense get to the next level. Now, one of those guys is Mike Gesicki. For those of you that do not know, the Dolphins have had a tight end. His name is Mike Gesicki, all right? And he has given us the business for years, okay? He's given us the business for years, and we just can't stop this guy, all right? We just cannot stop him. I don't know what's going on, all right, but we just can't do it, okay? And he's going to free agency this year, possibly. And I'm a guy that's looking at him and saying, hey, we should definitely bring in Mike Gesicki. I am not against it whatsoever. I know that a lot of Jets fans look at him and say, well, he's not the greatest blocker. Yeah, but he's a playmaker. He's a big body guy that goes up against the football. Tua definitely relies on him. We've seen other quarterbacks that the Dolphins have that just chuck the ball up to him. He goes and gets it. I understand he's not that great of a blocker, but you can find blocking tight ends in this league. I just talked about Dan Brown. That's another blocking tight end. You could throw a rock in the NFL and guaranteed you'll hit at least 2 or 3 blocking tight ends. But the type of playmaker that Gesicki is, I don't think you should just bat an eye at and walk away from. I would definitely look at bringing Gesicki in, all right? Now, another guy that's really got Jets fans in an uproar is Dalton Schultz. Now, he plays for the Cowboys. This is a guy that had 808 yards this year and also had 8 TDs. I like Schultz. I think he's a guy, can clearly make plays. He's got a reliable, solid set of hands. He can move as well when he gets the football in his hands. I'm not against bringing this guy in. And again, he's a solid blocker. Here's a guy, again, that can help us and upgrade that position. So I'm not against Dalton Schultz whatsoever, all right? But again, Mike Gesicki, I've watched this guy up close and personal. And a lot of issues covering him, all right? A lot of issues covering that guy. I'm going to just leave it at that. Now, there's other tight ends as well that could be out there. David Njoku could be out there as well. Now, I'm not against the New York Jets bringing in David Njoku. You know what I'm saying? Here's a guy that's been in the league for quite a bit. He's a guy that can make plays. He's athletic. He's got ability, so I wouldn't be against that. But let me tell you something. Zach Ertz could be out there as well. He's a possible, guy that could be hitting free agency. Now, there's a lot of talk that the Cardinals are not going to let him walk away. They're not going to let him get out the building, over there. But let me tell you something. There's been a love affair between the New York Jets fan base and Zach Ertz for quite a bit. Even when he was back with the Eagles, and there was a lot of talk about him possibly hitting free agency, Jets fans were going off. They love this guy, and of course, because he's made plays in this league for so long, I wouldn't be against the Jets, bringing him in as well. Now, again, there's a little bit of injury history with him, or quite a bit of injury history with Zach Ertz. But if he can stay healthy here, I have no issues whatsoever. Now, you look at the draft, there's some guys in the draft as well. Now, Jalen Watermeyer from Texas A&M, Cade Otton as well could be a guy we bring in. Trey McBride, I think, is the big target for us from Colorado State. Here's a guy that can move. He's a big body guy as well. I like him too. You also look at a guy like Ruckert, Jeremy Ruckert. I like what he can do as well. So there's options. And again, I think a lot of people are losing sight that the New York Jets coaching staff is going to be out there at the Senior Bowl coaching a lot of these young guys, before they're getting into the league. That's huge as well, because what that allows the New York Jets to do is sit back and get an intense look at these guys. This is scouting like to the max. You get to sit down, watch these guys run. You can put them through the paces, run some routes that's going to be in your scheme. You could throw in some plays that you might use during the season and see how these guys react to those things. It also gives you a look at some steals too. There could be some tight ends in this class that maybe some people don't value, but once the Jets get an up-close look at them, they might say, whoa, 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 this guy could be a late-round steal right here for us. That would be huge. Of course, there's going to be guys out there like Cole Turner from Nevada, Charlie Kohler from Iowa State, Ferguson from Wisconsin. These are all guys that could be out there. So there's a lot to be seen, when you go out there for that Senior Bowl, and New York Jets are going to have a front row seat to really take an in-depth look at some of the guys from this tight end class. This is going to be big for them. Very, very big. We'll see what happens. Again, they're going to be out there with some of these young tight ends. We'll see, what they come up with. And maybe that helps to kind of tweak, their scouting and how they look at some players. So comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. How do you folks feel about the New York Jets tight end position? How do you folks think we can absolutely better the tight end position as well? I want to hear your thoughts. What are your thoughts about some of the possible free agents? Comment down below. Let's go back and forth. You folks have a good one. Peace.